Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, Dr. Hunter in more hot water. Suspended neurosurgeon Dr. Roger Hunter is facing even more trouble as lawyers representing University Hospital of the West Indies and its medical chief of staff, Dr. Carl Bruce, have initiated the first step of legal action against him. The news sources say lawyers representing UHWI and Bruce have written to Hunter alleging that he has made several false and defamatory statements concerning them across various media platforms in recent weeks. This is the first step in a move to head to court to seek millions of dollars in damages from Dr. Hunter for the damning allegations he has made and continues to make, said the source. He has been given a chance to apologize and pull down the post that he has made on TikTok, Instagram, and almost every other social media platform you can think of. But that will not be the end of the matter. This demands a further legal action, added the source. In documents seen by the news, Hunter is requested to immediately stop referring to UHWI and Bruce by name or photographs in connection with any statement that may tend to negatively affect their reputation. Hunter is also demanded to remove all defamatory content concerning the UHWI and Bruce from all social media platforms and messaging services within your control and issue a public apology using the same accounts from which the defamatory contents were posted. The lawyers also warned Hunter that a failure to comply with this demand will result in legal proceedings being commenced against you without further notice. This includes an application for injunction relief and the claims for damages, including aggravated damages and legal costs. Hunter has also been warned that the legal team could refer him to the Medical Council of Jamaica, as his conduct could be a breach of the Medical Act, which requires all medical professionals to refrain from disgraceful, unethical, or unprofessional conduct. Given your recent suspension by the Medical Council, one might expect a greater degree of prudence on your part. Our clients reserve the right to lodge a formal complaint with the Council, which might lead to your removal from the medical register, the lawyers added. In a notice published at the start of this month, the Medical Council announced that Hunter had been suspended from practicing in Jamaica with immediate effect in keeping with the Medical Act, Section 11(1)(d). While the Council did not provide details of the alleged breaches by Hunter, the Medical Act, Section 11(1)(d) states if any person registered under this act is found upon inquiry by the Council to be guilty of dishonesty, negligence, or incompetence in the performance of his functions as a medical practitioner or of conduct that is disgraceful in a professional respect, they can be removed from the registry of doctors allowed to practice in the island. The legislation also includes a provision under which the Council may at any time, if it thinks just, direct the register to restore to the register any name removed therefrom. At that time, Hunter told the news that he had not appeared before the Medical Council and remains accredited to practice in the United States, the United Kingdom, and other countries. He charged that there are many more serious allegations against the doctors, which the Medical Council has refused to probe, and questioned if he is being targeted. It goes to show you how they treat certain people one way and other people another way, said Hunter, as he charged that a doctor in rural Jamaica was convicted of assault more than 3 months ago, but he has not been summoned to a hearing by the Medical Council. I have written the Medical Council at least 12 times and pointed out to them that a medical doctor has been convicted and is now a criminal. The canons of the medical profession do not allow you to practice if you are a criminal, argued Hunter. The neurosurgeon said that having failed to convene a hearing for a doctor who has been convicted of a crime, it is questionable that he has been called to a hearing in a case in which he is being probed by the police. Bruce is to go on trial in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on September 2, in relation to an alleged fight with Hunter more than 18 years ago. Mandeville mayor reiterates a call for government to tap into porous wells. Mandeville Mayor Donovan Mitchell is reiterating an often made call for the government to tap into wells at Porous to provide more water to residents, arguing that the south-central town, which depends heavily on rainwater harvesting, is seeing early signs of drought. Drought now as we speak. It is the responsibility of the National Water Commission to truck water to their customers by law. You call them and you say, there is no water coming through my pipe, or water is gone, you need to give me some water, because the truth is, whether or not you have water running through the pipe, you are going to pay a bill, he said on Thursday night at a meeting in the upscale community of Ingleside. Mitchell was responding to questions raised by the news and residents regarding water supply to Mandeville and its environs. Ingleside has a water issue, and every other day the pump blows up and we don't have any water, one resident said during the meeting at the badminton club. Mitchell then pointed to a long-standing proposal that wells which were used to supply water to the now mothballed Windalco Kirkvine bauxite alumina plant to tap into to help alleviate Manchester's water crisis. The problem is that government has to have co-joins. Windalco has 5 wells at Porous that have so much water that the government just have to tell the Russians that we are going to take the wells. If you don't take the wells, then we are not going to have enough water, he said. He told the residents of Ingleside that a reservoir in their community is not sufficient to provide enough water to the area. I spoke with a representative from the NWC yesterday. He said, I have just asked the hydrologist to look at us digging another well in Porous so that we can get some more water, but the trick, even though you have a tank somewhere up in Ingleside, the water from Porous comes to that tank. It gravity feeds back down as far as to Williamsfield and those areas, so even though the tank is up here, you don't generally get any water, he explained. The situation is that we need to get some more water from the Porous side. I know they are doing something as it relates to pepper, added Mitchell. The pepper well field downslope at a low altitude in St. Elizabeth is the main source of water for Mandeville, which is more than 2,000 feet above sea level atop the Manchester Plateau. Mitchell said the current phase of the Greater Mandeville Water Supply Improvement Project is to supply Perth Estate with potable water. As much as they are putting in some lines to go to Perth property, only the people who live in Perth might get some water. Nobody else will get water from that line, he claimed. In March, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the Pepper to Gutters Transition Project formed a part of a key component of the $4 billion Greater Mandeville Water Supply Improvement Project. The government's task in the provision of water, based upon the legitimate expectations of the people, is not just to pull the water out of the ground or out of the river. That is the production of potable and irrigable water supply, which we have done looking at the older Pepper to Gutters, what we call the Greater Mandeville Supply Project, he said. An element of that would have been to create a new well and rehabilitate the existing well, put in new pumps and the various other sensors and the systems to manage those pumps so that they don't go down, he said, adding there would be a need to regulate the electricity supply and then to put in some very huge ductile iron pipes. I believe these would be 24 inches in diameter, and we will pump water from Pepper to Spur Tree and go to a relift station, which will turn pump further into central Manchester and northwest Manchester, Holness said. PNP better off without switchers, Golding says. People's National Party President Mark Golding says the party is stronger without those who have abandoned the ship to join the ruling Jamaica Labour Party. Addressing a spirited crowd in Hanover Western last night, Golding sounded off on what he described as the switching thing, making it clear that the PNP has no time for disloyalty. We better off when who no really belong with we. Go where them fi go. Make the thing clearer. Me no like when people them amongst we and them not really for we. So if you're not for we, Just go where you feel comfortable. We're all right, Golden said to loud cheers from party faithfuls. His comments come in the wake of a growing list of former PNP hopefuls who have crossed the floor to join the JLP. Among them is Christopher French, who represented the PNP in the Alexandra division in St. Anne during last year's local government elections. French is now flying the green flag. Before him, Craig Oates, who once had his eyes set on running for the PNP in Hanover Eastern, and Kenroy Kalami, who had expressed interest in representing the Claudwell division of the Hanover Municipal Corporation, also declared they are now aligned with the Labour Party. Jamaica Labour Party leader Andrew Holness, speaking at a constituency meeting in St. Anne Southeast, said that people are more attracted to better policies, and this explained why some are switching to the JLP. People are heading to the Jamaica Labour Party because you have toxic people over there and the toxic situations, while over here we have order, principles and respect. We have a better politics, Holness said. The JLP's standard bearer in St. Anne Southeast is Aidan Peart, who switched from the PNP last year. Peart is the cousin of Michael and Dean Peart, long-standing members of the PNP. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.